one thing that I still struggle with, if I'm honest, is like pleasing people. My first carnal thought is, what are people going to think? And so I've been really challenged to reorientate that to what's God going to think?
So many people just want to be the guy or be that thing, and like maybe you're never meant to be. We are all called just to be followers of Jesus, and it's like that is the best position to always be in. That's
Every person is a full-time minister regardless of your vocation. So everyone is actually a minister of the gospel. There are no part-time Christians. You're a full-time Christian. Hi friends, I'm Sabrina, and this is The Healthy Christian, a podcast about spiritual growth and emotional health, because the best you is a whole you. All right, welcome back to today's episode. It's going to be great. I've got some special guests with me. I've got Josh and Sam.
Hello.
Woo! We are getting creative today.
Yes.
I'm going to throw over to you guys to tell us a little bit about yourself. Josh, you want to start?
Yes, I do. My name is Josh.
Thank you.
Sam.
Samuel, good to meet you.
Great to meet you.
I'm just at the mic. That's terrible. I dabble in a lot of creativity spaces.
Mm-hmm.
What's your background?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm like, what do I do? I have been filming ever since I was a little kid, and my parents bought I actually stole the VHS camera from the home movies, and then just would start making movies in the backyard, music videos and everything, and then just went from there. Made my first feature film when I was 14. I starred as every character because no one wanted to be in it. So it's literally just me, like playing different characters.
Did you just set up the camera?
Yeah,
hit
tripod,
record?
everything. And then got my older
awesome.
brothers to drift my mum's car. She didn't know about it for a scene. But it actually turned out pretty sick that when I got to like the last 10 minutes, my friends and family saw it and they're like, oh, this is sick. Can we be it? So then like,
Everyone's in.
yeah, then
They're all
characters
in.
just changed other people. It's like terrible, but it's great.
Okay, so videographer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the biggest thing. But then just I love all forms of creativity. And then when I got saved into the church, creativity expanded to so many more
Awesome.
things that it means to me.
Is that when you started interpretive dance?
Yeah, that's a big one. Oh, you're dancing. I'm big on dancing. I still do.
You're a real dancer.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
dancing.
Yeah.
It's actually so fun.
He actually does.
Yeah, I love dancing. I think the one thing that I wish I did have more ability in is probably
Being a good dancer.
good dancer. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so super creative. Obviously, you said like 14, you're starting to play with like videos and make things, and it's never stopped. Sam, what about yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Sam, and I'm a recovering creative. Similar to Josh, I remember my earliest memory was we had an old Polaroid camera, and I realized if you get your sister to stand there and you take a photo and then you move around her and you keep moving around, you could flick between the Polaroids and it would make a movie.
Wow.
Because we couldn't afford it. We couldn't afford it like a video camera when we were younger. So we kind of just like, I know all we had was a Polaroid camera. So I remember just making like stop motion films, like as a, 6-7-year-old.
Wow.
And so that's my earliest memory of being like vocationally creative. And then I remember getting to high school and I was like not good at many things, but 3 things: sport, music, and film and TV. I like ducks the class in film and TV. I was the best.
Let's go.
I had some epic fun projects. I mean, I watched one recently and it wasn't that good. But in school it felt good.
Yeah.
And I got
That's all
an
that
A.
matters.
It was good at the
That's all that
time.
matters.
So so I remember doing that. I wasn't very good at anything else except for being the funny kid and then doing those 3 things. So like I always just have loved being creative. And then over the years that has evolved. Like I've been passionate about ministry as well. And so, we're very involved in ministry over the years. And then just realized, hey, I want both. Like I want to actually do ministry and then I also want to be creative. And so kind of started this business and then we're still doing ministry, trying to marry them together, still trying to do it now. And now we run a great business. Josh is a part of it. We have a great team. And we do film, media, websites, graphic design. I mean, just you name it, we kind of do everything. So it's been a wild ride.
That's so fantastic. I like the way that you said you're trying to kind of marry ministry and creativity. What does that look like on a day-to-day basis? And actually, maybe a better question is your thoughts around ministry and creativity kind of being integrated. So if you're a creative person, maybe people are listening and, you know, they are videographers, they're photographers. How do you make God a part of that? And does that have to be within a church setting?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, I think I was always given two lanes. You either do ministry or everything else.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so I feel a sense of call to ministry, but I was only given one way to do it. And so I actually did all those things. I went to Bible, this is no shade, went to Bible college. I did the things. I preached here. I became more of a leader, and you did all the things, right? You know, the things we talk about in Protestant church. And I just realized once I got the things and I got to the place where I thought God called me, I was like, oh, actually, I feel like there's more to this. I feel like there's more for me. And so then I went the other way and just went full-time business and started building this thing. But then I was like, oh, I feel like I'm not doing ministry now. And so like it was really hard for me. And I remember getting told early on that like, Sam, you got to choose. You either want ministry or you want something else. I'm like, well, actually, Pastor, I feel like I'm called to both.
Great.
Like I actually feel like I can do both. And he goes, oh, good luck to you then. And so
was it James? Was it Jimmy? I'm kidding. I love you, James, if you're listening.
Maybe it was.
Oh no.
But I mean, I love Jimmy. But
So do I.
but you know, he is also a product of the generation before him telling him the same thing.
And the mindset, right?
So there was this dichotomy of like, well, I feel called to do ministry, but I also feel called to be like in the world doing marketplace business.
Yeah.
So how do I do both of those things? And I felt like I just needed to chart the way as I go because I was only given one way to do it, you know? And so I kind of we've just stumbled our way here. I don't know, we're kind of still stumbling. I mean, in a sense, we're all fully Christians. Our whole team are Christians and we love the Lord and we're kingdom people, but we totally operate in a secular marketplace as well. Yeah. So we do a lot of church work and kingdom work because that's naturally who we are and that's our relationships and that's great. But I mean, people don't know we do a lot of marketplace secular work too. And people always want to get us back because it feels different to have us around, you know, like we bring a sense of, you know, what maybe we take for granted as Christians, we bring that into a place where they don't have that. I remember doing a project 2 years ago, and a guy who, you know, has a Catholic background, but was not really a Christian. We prayed before we started filming. And it's just something we've always done, you know, let's just pray, just invite the Holy Spirit on. And he'd never been a part of that. And it really, really made an impact that now he's gotten back to church, back to full-time church and his whole family back in church again from that moment. And so, you know, he did have some Christ context or consciousness, but so he was aware of what we were doing, but it sparked this thing in him like, oh, I can, like, I don't know, it was just a really cool moment that we could, do you remember this?
Yeah.
And it was just a really cool moment that we could marry the two together. So I feel like we're on our journey doing that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I just don't think I was given a model or a context on how to do it. It was either work for the church or everything else. You know, like we've spoken about this before. You felt it in a similar way.
Yeah. It's like, I think I've had a couple of moments in my life where it's like, realizing like no matter what you do, you're just trying to serve the kingdom in any aspect and really realizing that. And it's like, I've also worked for a church for 7 years. So it's like, also like so Sam, like we've both got that context there. And it's like coming here together with Sam, it's like we've even joked about it. It's like I think we're probably more blessed that like we're both Christian. We both the business is run that way. Like one of our core values is like seek first the kingdom. Like you're not going to go to any creative agencies that is going to want to put that on the wall.
Quick pause. Enjoying this episode? Show some love with Buy Me a Coffee, link in bio. All right, back to the episode.
Like, I even said, it's like, even like after not being employed by the church anymore and stepping out into this, it's like I haven't felt like a lack that I'm not doing what God's called me to do.
Yeah.
And I think it was more of that, like identifying that I'm just here to serve him and his will and whatever that looks like, and realizing that seasons change, doors open, doors close. And it's like kind of realizing that lens on life of like, everything changed once I realized that scripture is so powerful. It's like seek first the kingdom, everything will be added to you. So it's like his will, not our will. And it's
You've said to me before, you feel like you've done way more ministry in the last like year and a half.
Wow.
Not way more praying before filming.
And then you worked in a church for 7 years.
Yeah, don't pray before filming there.
You're just like, let's do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in trouble. You're like zipping your mouth. I can tell. Sorry.
Just be free.
You're allowed to. You can say your opinion. No, but it's true. When you're oftentimes in a church environment, it's almost taken for granted.
I think
Yeah.
the context of that as well is like, it's when you're in the church environment, your goal is to focus on the church's need and what that is. And it's like also something that I'm like, I struggle with so much times is like this weird, now this is just my take on it, so whatever, but like there's this fake, no, there's like, it's not a fake unity, but it's like, it's this weird tension in a church where it's like, we all want to win, but at the same time, we're trying to make it our own thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like sometimes you don't sing other churches' songs.
Yes,
because
wait.
it's like another
I'd love to
church's
hit
songs.
pause on that and tell
Yeah.
me more. And not like we all love the church.
Mm.
We all love
Oh,
God.
yeah, it's
we
no
love
shade.
the kingdom, right?
No, totally.
So we're not putting it down, but I do think that there can be times where the church can be healthier. The church can be more whole. The church can actually be more kingdom, right? And church is powerful and we love his bride, but it's the vehicle to the kingdom of God.
Totally.
I love that you guys are called kingdom creatives and you're actually bringing kingdom to all different spaces. But I'd love to hear you kind of just said sometimes we can be really almost like territorial as pastors and leaders and even creatives. It's like, oh, you can look at somebody else's song or you can look at how somebody else produces something.
Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts on
Can
that?
I quickly preface too? Like, I feel like when I talk up about church environments and leadership and pastors, people always say, "Oh, well, you don't run a church, so you can't talk about it." But here's the thing: I feel like you're allowed to speak on things that you're willing to give your life to, and I feel like we do that. Like this whole
Yeah.
Kingdom Creatives thing
Yeah.
that we
Love it,
do
Sam.
is totally off the back of the company. We don't make any money off it. We do this because we saw a gap that creatives need to.
Wow.
Have a third space where they can go to and listen to people and be encouraged outside of maybe their direct space. And so I feel like I do have a space to talk into this and you do because we're actually committed to changing or committing to fixing the
Yes.
problem.
Yes.
So I feel like when you're just throwing stones and not willing to fix the problem,
Yeah,
that's where
fully.
it gets, you know, if we go, well, that pastor's doing that, then stuff them, but you're not willing to actually go and be the
Yeah,
solution or
sure.
be the person to
So
pray
real.
and be with them and help them,
Yeah.
then that's wrong. But I feel like you can speak to things and throw truths, you know, into that environment if you're willing to give your life to it. So I just wanted to preface that because I get a lot of shade. Like people are like, Sam, why do you always say these things? And like, you don't run a church. Well, yeah, I don't run a church anymore, but I think if you're willing to give your life to it and sit, I mean, in our lounge room, we have pastors and friends and leaders in our lounge room crying and we're with them.
Yeah.
If you're willing to sit there and actually
real.
Be a part.
help and be a part of the solution, then you can't. There is authority to speak up on it, you know. And
Yeah.
so that's why
good.
I just want to preface that, bro, because I feel like you have committed your life to this thing. I mean, you had a team like last night. None of this is throwing shade because you hate it. It's just
I'm not
It's just
throwing-
no. But do you know what I mean? Like I could sense you were a little bit like apprehensive to say what we've said off the mic.
No, I'm about to say it.
All right.
I'm glad you are now.
You
But
teed him
anyway,
up for it.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hey, don't get defensive, mate. Hey, we spent a lot of time together. We're like a married couple. So.
Yeah. All
a
right.
whole
Tell us
nother
more
thing.
then.
No, it's like, that like, it's like want to do their own thing. And there's this weird undertone of like, I don't know. It's like sometimes I feel like there's a fake unity and there's a real unity. And you can spread that so wide to even like how there's like Catholics, Baptists, like evangelists, like even that like
Yep.
spread. I'm like, we're either all Christian and it doesn't matter or it does matter and you're lying or you shouldn't be offended. Like so many thoughts about that. But it's like, I forgot what I was saying.
He's
so I just started
cooking.
talking about that now. No, it's like, I realized like the difference was, when you're in your ecosystem of your wall and that's your only view of ministry is what I changed is we changed to having no wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's
wow.
no, we're
Yep.
not like, we're not
That's a
bound
good
by
way- that's a
anything.
good way to put it, bro.
You know what I mean? Because we're not a church. We're just two Christians that like disagree on a lot of things, more agree on everything else.
Yeah.
It's like, and like go back and forth and want to pray for each other, want to pray for people. And it's like partnering them with other ministries and seeing other things. I talk about it all the time. It's like when we went to the prison to film these people
Boston,
in prison in Boston, like
Yeah, it was amazing.
giving their
experience.
lives to the Lord and they've got life sentences, they've attempted murder, like all these crazy things. And they're talking about how Jesus has a plan for their life. Like doing
Yeah, it
those
rocked
things,
you,
I'm like,
didn't it?
that's an opportunity that like I've never seen before because it's like you're so focused on the inward thing. And it's like, still there's nothing wrong with it because the mission's like get people saved, get growth in. It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. But it's like, I think that's kind of like back to your thing has like the two lanes. It's like, no, it can be one
Both.
lane.
Totally.
It's like we're all called to be
Yeah,
Christians
totally.
and everything. So
There's
it's like,
different
Yeah.
functions.
Yeah,
And I
like
think
the-
like in the local church, I see it can be a little bit like a vortex, because you're so honed in, Monday to Friday or whatever your hours are, to like this one thing, which is great because the local community need that. Wherever you're planted, like you need to be all in mission on that. But it's oftentimes really, really hard to lift your head and see outside of that.
Yeah.
And so we have an opportunity where we do get to travel and we do get to see, multiple denominations and movements. And, I mean, you name it, we've probably been there and done that, and I wish sometimes that local churches could get out more. Like I'd love to one day, like I've never said this publicly, but I'd love to one day, build enough wealth to be able to do stuff like that for church leaders and pastors. Because I know, like, for example, Alpha next door, they take a lot of church pastors over to London to the leadership conference. Have you been before?
I haven't been, but a bunch of my friends have.
Yeah, and it actually, radically changed my life, and it radically changes so many people who go, not because there's anything different about London, but just the ability to go, I'm getting out of what I'm in the trenches of for the last 5, 10, 15 years, and I'm just like seeing more of what God might have. And it helps open your eyes when you get out of the seeming, like what you're talking about, like the vortex or the really insular four walls. I just think it's important to lift your eyes every now and then.
Yeah.
Obviously, stay on mission. If you're a local church pastor, I literally am praying. I love you. Like, I don't envy your job sometimes. It's a tough gig. I mean, you guys are doing it. It's tough. It's really tough. And so opportunities to get out and go minister in places you wouldn't usually is like such a blessing I don't take for granted.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I like your perspective. It's kind of like tearing, like you said, tearing down the walls and the kingdom of God going out. And, sometimes we can be very like church centric, right? And it can be kind of churchianity, but it's Christianity. And one thing I really love about our church, so a part of a church called Kingdom City, mentioned it heaps of times, is that our whole mandate is to bring the reality of God to our world. And so what that really means is that it's not just more people kind of coming in and gathering on Sundays, and that can be part of faith, but it's you gather, you celebrate God, and then you actually all get to go out and bring the reality of God and give glory to God.
Love that.
Something that our pastor talks about heaps is every person is a full-time minister regardless of your vocation. So everyone is actually a minister of the gospel. There are no part-time Christians. You're a full-time Christian. You could be working a job as a nurse, as a teacher. You could be a parent, a mum raising kids, but you actually have the opportunity to bring God into every single space.
Yes.
And I feel like that is really similar to what you guys are saying. What does that look like for a person that is creative, or they're kind of gifted in, say, like media, photography, like you guys? What does it look like giving glory to God in the everyday? And what have you guys kind of found in your own lives? Kind of working that out.
I think for me, like, one thing that I still struggle with, if I'm honest, is like pleasing people. And so, like, if I create a piece of art or I edit a video or we put out a podcast or whatever, my first carnal thought is, what are people going to think?
Yeah.
And so I've been really challenged to reorientate that to what's God going to think?
I love
and so
that.
when we're creating things, like, I feel this prompting all the time. My first thought is, what are people going to think? And then the immediate thought afterwards is, live to please one. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, I create best when I'm pleasing God.
Yeah.
That's it. I create the best art when my sole intention is to please Him.
Yeah.
We haven't spoken about this publicly, but we're doing an album. Not just Josh and I, but we're collaborating with trust me, you don't want that.
I was
Just
like,
us.
No,
Do it.
do you guys want to give us a little?
You don't want
soundbite?
that. Do a little live
Little
recording. We're doing this 7-song album. It's going to be called The Process, and the idea is that it's songs that creatives, when they're doing the deep work, like they're right in the middle of editing the photo, doing the video, writing their sermon, they can quickly and they hit the block. There's a block in creativity where you just hit it and you go, oh, I can't move past this. At that point, they get up, put headphones in, and they walk and put on The Process. And it's this encouraging lo-fi kind of album that will just draw creativity back out of their spirits again. And so that's a really exciting project. But all that to say, I don't really want to do it. Like, to be honest, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money. But God, I felt God really strongly tell me, and I called you straight afterwards. This is your next mandate, and so so I go, well, okay, I'll do it, but it doesn't do anything for me. Like in fact, it just costs, and so I feel like through that lens of going, what is it that God wants to do with my creativity, or how can I use the gifts He's given me to glorify Him and help other people? That's the lens I want to see my gift through, rather than what are people going to think? How cool can I look if I put this out?
Yeah.
What do you think, bro?
That's really good. Yeah, it's so interesting that. Like, it's like there's so many different thoughts. It's like it depends where you're at in your life, because sometimes I felt like the best thing I did was just kept showing up. Like when I thought I wasn't good, I was just learning, I was just feeling it. And even like, I think it's even harder when, as a creative, you don't really have an output for your creativity. And like, because it's like, it's such a weird thing, like creating something and then no one ever hearing it, seeing it, taking it in. It's like so easy to look at the people that have like bigger platforms and get things shown more, heard more and everything, and be like, I want that. But then it's like realizing that it's like, why do you do it? Like, why do you want to do it? And it's like trying to come up with a reason for that. And it's like, I think now just in my life, I just realize it's like, I don't really care half the time. I just know it's like almost two different things to me now. It's like, I just like doing anything creative. I'm like, I don't even know if it like matters. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm like so lucky that I get to paid to do just fun stuff. And just like.
And Josh is incredibly creative. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, he's literally one of the most creative people I've ever met. When you get him cooking, when you get his creative chef hat on, he's unbelievable with the ideas. And like, I feel like you.
Just keep going.
Yeah, you like it?
Like, no, just feed the
Give me. You're hot. You're awesome. I get it.
Sick.
No, but it's just like, some people, like, I'm not really like that. Like, I am creative, but I don't really see myself as a creative.
Okay.
And there is a distinction there, because I believe, and we're talking about this in the pod before, that we're all inherently creative, because we're created in the image of the creator. Well, that's a bar right there.
That's why I ran.
Yeah. Sorry, wait 1 second. But there's a small percentage of people who are a creative. Yeah. And they dream of things and see things that others don't see, and he's one of them. Anyway, I just want to gas you up for a second.
No, that's good.
Because he doesn't get gassed that much, because he's usually the guy behind the camera. And this is part of why we started Kingdom Creatives, is because the guys behind the cameras, the guys behind the sound desk, the guys editing the photos, they don't get seen.
No,
they wear black on a Sunday and they're the ones taking the photos, or they're the ones doing the video. They don't get seen or noticed or uplifted. And I just want to say, like, that's one of the main reasons why we did this, because those people are heroes in my eyes. Like, absolutely. I love going up and dapping the sound guy, no matter how weird and crazy he is, like, or she. Because oftentimes we don't bring light or highlight the gift that they bring, but man, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it's because it's like, that's a pretty good way to put it, because it's like something we've talked about heaps before, is it's like, especially in the context of like creativity, God, all those things, it's like the unique thing about like worship music in particular is doing the thing is the thing. It's like when you're a worship leader, you're actually worshiping God. Like you're doing that. It's an instant exchange of creativity, connecting with the creator. But it's like a lot of other streams of creativity. There is nothing spiritually beautiful about me editing a video. Like literally nothing. It's like start, stop. There's nothing like when you're doing graphic design, when you're doing like things, even like so many other aspects of creativity. It's actually, no, this is work.
It's a grind,
and it's the finished product that actually God breathes on. So it's like having to sustain through that. And it's like, that's also like a lonely thing in church. Like you're a photographer, you're at the church event with everyone the whole same time. But then, hey, go back in the back room for like 3 hours to edit all these photos.
You don't get to talk to anyone. You don't get to have a coffee. You don't even get to go to grill. You're not that guy, because you're there editing the photos.
Yeah. So it's like, it's such a different aspect of creativity. When, especially in church context, is like we've seen like worship is the top of tier citizen, if you will. Yeah. If you're a worship leader.
And
then every other creative. Yeah.
They're on level 40. The rest are on level.
Yeah. So it's like, that's something I've realized over time. It's like, I see it literally as two different separate things. It's like, I know I'm not going to get slain by the Spirit because I'm like, we're filming something, directing, because it's like, quiet on set, stop talking, who's making that noise? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's just
Who's
not going to
making that
happen.
noise?
It's like, where that happens is like in that just inherent thing where you lean into the Spirit in other moments and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, that's why I'm like, keep showing up, because I'm like, you're not going to probably get filled in a lot of areas of creativity when you're trying to create. And that's also the thing about the process. It's like, take that step back, breathe again, connect with the Lord, get filled again.
Yeah, so you can pour.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Because if your cup's not overflowing,
Yeah.
you're going to be dry and empty and thirsty. So
Oh, bars! Bars, dude.
All right, we'll clip
Yeah,
that.
yeah, clip.
Hey,
where's the camera? No. Yeah, I don't know which one. Young creatives.
young adult creators.
Oh, love him. Love him.
Guys, I've got a question that's a little bit of a different steering. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and be creative, say to, write a song, to produce anything. I think a lot of people hold back because of that fear of man, like you said, Sam, or wanting to please people. Have you guys ever struggled with that? And how did you overcome that hurdle of God's put something on my heart, or he's given me a gift, he's given me a talent or a passion, taking it from like in here or in here out, that's difficult. Have you guys ever struggled with that? And what does
Level
it
of
look
1,000 extroverts. So I
Yeah.
don't know if he's ever.
Yeah, you go.
Have you struggled with just fearing what happens if this is a flop? What happens
Yeah,
if this
for
doesn't
sure.
work?
That's very real.
I think that's so real. I think it just never leaves.
Yeah.
Almost. It's like, I've heard my senior pastor even say, he's like, he still gets nervous before he preaches.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit. I don't know. It's like, it just changes. I think the difference thing I've learned over time is like, have I prepared? Have I like put effort in? Do I actually think this is good? It's like, if I haven't done those things, then it's like whole many emotions in so many things before I put anything out there. But it's like, if I know I actually have tried and I have done good, it's like, it's like something we talked about the other day. It's like when you make something or you create something or anything, you think it's really good. And then you look at it like a couple of years later and you're like, oh, that's not. Like it shows growth. And I think that's always going to be a part of it, because you're always trying. I think it's when you probably don't get a little bit nervous or you don't feel a little bit confident, is it shows you're not like trying to get better. And I think that's always the way to make something good. But
Yeah, I think courage is a great word. I think two things for me. Naturally, I'm a bit of a antagonist in the sense that like I like saying provocative things to see how people respond. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying it's what I'm like.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
pretty
like,
self-aware
"This is me."
enough to say it, so I'll put up something on Facebook or whatever because like I just want to see how people respond. Now, I'm not saying it's good or bad. My wife hates when I do it though. But anyway, so there's a part of me that like I feel like I don't have a problem putting things out there because I like seeing seeing public response and discourse. Like I like that. I like seeing, but on the other hand, it also does scare me because I'm like, well, what do people think? Not just people like my peers, but I run a business, and so for me, it's like, what are the clients going to see? So how am I representing myself to people who might want to work with us? And it's not too like blanket or cover up who I really am or what the business is about. No way. Like I think truth undergirds all of that.
Yeah.
But we can represent or represent like the way we do that. And so what my biggest struggle has not been like courage or putting it out there. I'm more than happy to, and like more than happy to get it wrong publicly and see how people respond. I like that. But the biggest filter I have is like, is this representing, you know what I mean? What this whole thing is about? Like, am I representing, yes, truth, but also grace, love, and mercy as well? And like, I'm okay with truth. I'm okay with putting truth out there. But oftentimes it's harder for me to, cover that with and season that with love, grace and mercy. So I feel like, and some people might be opposite. Some people might not have the courage to do that because they're just so scared about what people think. And I get that, but sometimes on my end, I maybe do it like
on purpose.
On purpose. So it's a hard question for me to answer for people who don't have courage to do it. But a great equalizer, like my wife is so good. She's just like, nah, delete it. Take it off. And like, I'm very intentional about the people speaking into my life. Like I put something up recently and on Facebook because it's oftentimes the best place to see like public discourse. And it kind of took off a little bit. And then good friend of mine and mentor, John Cameron, commented on it. And then I met him the next day here. He came in and we had a meeting and just spoke for an hour about it. And like I've said to him, you have all space to speak into my life and tell me where I'm wrong. And he did. And I actually agreed with him. I'm like, you're right, X, Y, and Z. And I think it's important to have people in your life that you're maybe filtering it through, whether it's your partner or mentors or spiritual parents, pastors, that you're going, hey, is this right? Like, should I put this video out or should I put these photos up? Like photos are a big one. Like, because I feel like on social media, we only really show people what we want them to see. Do you know what I mean? Like it's actually not real. It's not like social media is not real. It's not.
Yeah, it's curated.
It's totally curated.
A specific image.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I feel like you do have the option to discern what to put up and what not to put up, you know? So use it wisely and get the right people to speak on it. So
Yeah, so good.
I love that you're talking about relationship, right? The importance of relationship and kind of accountability. Do you think that creatives ever have any issues within their relationships, or are there things that tend to come up kind of consistently or even in your own life that are kind of like the vices or the traps for a creative person?
yeah, look, creators are crazy.
Yeah, just
honestly,
avoid
shut
them. Don't deal with them.
Creatives are
if you
insane.
can.
They're wild. They're untamed. They're
sensitive souls.
They're
too.
sensitive.
So sensitive.
But you know what? I think it's that kind of spirit that brought about, you know, you look at the Renaissance period, like this amazing artwork and cathedrals and architecture we saw during that period, because it was the crazy loopy creatives, you know, like David dancing naked. Like we look through, I mean, we look at history and we look at now, it's not too much different. And he was, we know David was creative. We know that for a fact.
Absolutely.
And so I think embrace it. I love it. Like we had Nathan Finocchio on our podcast. He's so hilarious, but he's like a purist. Yeah, unhinged, totally. A purist creative though. Like he writes music, does comedy, super intelligent, but just unhinged. And I think that's a part of what makes creatives so great. And they see the world. A lot of my autistic friends is the same thing. They see the world. Well, they do. They see the world in such a unique lens.
Yes.
I'm really clickbaiting for you now, eh? You know, and I think, you know, we all have the tism in some way, but I feel like autistic people see the world in through such a unique lens that they're so insightful to me. I'm catching up with one of them on Monday, and he is a movie buff, like more than Sean, way more than Sean.
He would know a lot of facts.
Yeah, like just knows, like you name the movie, he knows it, and like he's this douche. And I love catching up with him because I always walk away learning so much more than I would ever with any one of my other friends, you know? And so can't remember how we got onto autistic people.
Well, we were with creatives.
True.
The relational kind of challenges that can come up. I was just kind of asking, you know, is there something that people should be aware of? And you're right that they are, like, creatives are such a blessing, and obviously they see things that are not yet here, right? Like they download songs and they hear things that are not yet here.
Yeah.
They've come from heaven, and they have an attunement to God that is really beautiful and it's very special. But I think there can be some vices. What would you say to a creative person that's like, nah, I don't want to, you know, be a part of a church. Nah, I don't want to use my gift in that way. Yeah, they can sometimes be a little bit.
Yeah, I think you got to give them grace. Hey, like they need, like everyone needs grace in different ways, but I think creatives particularly need room, and they need room to experiment and A/B test. Like this won't work, this will work, and like just give them room to stuff it up. Like I don't know, we put a lot of pressure on like getting the exact right preaching clip, or this video has to be right, or this image sucks, like the edit, but just give them some grace, man. Like they're just trying to figure it out. Like we're all trying to figure it out, but creatives particularly, they're just untamed beasts, and they just need room to buck. Yeah. They need room to like just run around. You know, I love riding horses, and some that are untamed, I've been bucked off a few, and you just got to let them run around the arena before you get on them. You know, and so, well, it's true. Otherwise, you're going to get bucked off. And I did hop on a horse too early and got bucked off. But you let them run around, you let them kind of do their thing. And once they settle, that's the room to maybe bring a little bit of critique and bring a little bit of instruction and help formation. I think just giving them a bit more room. What do you think?
No, that's good. Yeah, it's like, I think it's like a lot of them, especially like, depends where they're at skill levels. Like you kind of said, it's like, I think a lot of creatives' mind is way ahead of where they're like, skill might be.
Oh yeah, true.
Or their output might be. So it's like, I think when they present something to you, like as a leader context, for example, it's like you got to be aware that they might think this is better than it is, or their vision is way grander than it is, or your resources. Yeah. And it's like, then,
is that what you were saying, bro?
no, it's not what I'm saying actually at all. I'm talking from a leader's perspective, looking down. It's like, it doesn't cost you anything to be nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like realizing that really in the grace thing, it's like, just if you get something really bad, you shouldn't just ignore it and go, can't play that. It's like, you got to be willing. Like, if you want creatives in your team, in your church and everything, you got to be willing to be like, all right, I'm going to get a lot of stuff my way, and I need to be willing to work with this through them, even if I don't know like how to do that is. And that's also a disconnect if you can't see what their vision is and you only know final product. It's like, you can't just shut down ideas or anything, because then you get I'm going to seclude, I'm not going to help, I'm not going to be a part,
isolate,
I'm not going to get involved, because it's like, my stuff will never get shown. It'll never, like, why am I putting all this time in just to be like, oh, that sucks or something? It's like, so it's like, I know it's like, leaders go through so many things all the time. So it's like, grace on both halves, right? But it's like, willing to like know that if you want to open the door to creativity, you got to be willing to open all of it, like the running around. It's like, you got to let that happen. Like, I know so many people don't want to like do so many aspects of creativity because it hasn't been modeled really well before. Like, worship music's been modeled for years and years now. So it's like easy for any leader to see, okay, that's what it needs to look like. Everyone knows that. Yeah. But it's like, there's so many other aspects where it's like, we don't really model how to do poetry well. So if you got writers and they write something and it's not good, you know, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And then like, oh, so what am I doing here? You know? So it's like, it really is like that two-way conversation, I think, of like, not being delicate, but it's like, we all know how like intertwined they are. Not saying it's a good thing, but it's like, it is just a part of it. I don't think a creative will never not be emotional.
Yeah. So like, just that sensitivity and being like conscientious, right? And I like what you said too. It doesn't cost anything to be nice. So I'm torn between being like sensitive in the way of like giving them the space, right? And so maybe I've got like my little pastor's hat on here right now.
This is good.
Right? Where does the responsibility lie though? If somebody is like, I'm creative, I'm wild, I'm a bit like emotional, whatever that is, to then working in a team environment, working in alignment and kind of like coming into the vision and stuff as well. So like, where's that responsibility? Because I would not call myself a creative, but I would say that I'm a creative person in terms of writing and that. So I would not identify as like a wild buck, as Sam would say. But I do have many friends that are just like, they're so blessed in the way that they think. Like, it is a God-given gift.
But they're untamed beasts.
They may fall into that category. But I feel like just being their friend and observing them in church life or even in faith, it's like they just buck away from boxes, teams, and kind of coming together. And personally, I look at Kingdom City, our church, and I think we do it beautifully. Like, I think we give people space to use their gift for God, and we give them grace to grow as people. We give them, but it's still like, hey, we're all running in the same direction. Like, you're not like woo 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 over here. We're all kind of like moving together, and I think we have a really healthy way of doing that.
That's cool.
So people can use their gifts, and they're not like, nah, unless you're going to do that, you know, sit down, be quiet. But how do you do that personal, like, you got to be part of something?
I would say freedom is not chaos.
Okay.
So giving creatives freedom is not permission for them to be chaotic. Okay. What do I mean by that? When I use the horse analogy again, the wild beast is bucking around. Well, you're still putting them in the arena with a fence.
I love that.
You're still giving them parameters. Yeah. So creatives still love parameters. Don't get me wrong. I feel they need to feel safe and supported, but and like they're in a lane. But they just need a bit more freedom, you know, to be able to shake it off, to have a bit more time. I also think there's two things. So one, as a senior minister, like, just have discernment. Like, sometimes it's time to crack the whip, You know what I mean? Like, hurry up, we need the video tomorrow. And that's fair because especially if they're getting paid, they've got timelines and deadlines. As a boss, I say to my guys all the time, you know, work from home, work from the beach, I don't care. But when we got to get crap done, get it done. Do you know what I mean? So there's that side. So like, and then just have discernment on when to give them grace. So like, okay, so now it's time to give Josh a little bit of grace because, you know, he's in his creative flow right now. So we need to give him a bit more room, you know? So I would just say to senior pastors or ministers, like, hey, like, let's have a bit of discernment on when to crack the whip and when to give them a bit of freedom, you know?
Yeah, that's great. Love it.
I think there's also a bit on the creative of like, I think sometimes we force too many creatives into the creative team.
Wow.
When I'm like, I don't know if we need more painters doing speed painting. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if there is this a good space for them? Like, you join a church, you talk to someone that, oh, you're creative. You come to the creative night, join the creative team. And it's like a lot of them historically just are really good, like I said, at like worship team. Like if you can play an instrument, you can run a sound or something. Yeah. There's really easy to guide that. But it's like when you start going into the broader spectrum of nuances creativity, it's like, is the call on God as simple as just using your gift to serve your local church, or is it actually to serve the church as a whole, like in the world? Like, should you actually be in the business field with your creativity, like actually impacting so many people and like using your art as an art form? Because I'm like, we all want to serve the church and everything, but sometimes the church can actually be more limiting for creatives and they can be like bigger than those four walls.
You're like, maybe the filmmaker who's coming doesn't need to get on the worship team. They just need to serve coffee or be on the front door. Because there's still a sense of like contribution you have to your local church. So if that contribution is helping feed, you got a homeless outreach, or it's something bigger than yourself, you're serving the kids ministry or whatever. I think that's so important. But just because you're a creative that does film doesn't mean that you need to be filming at church. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe they actually just need to go and
be an usher or helping kids.
Because there's contribution we have as members of the local church. It doesn't always have to be what your gift is. I like that. Whereas we like to, and I like how you articulated it, Josh, like we shove them in the creative box, come to creative night. Maybe they just need a break from that. Like maybe they're good, you know? Like, so I think that's where the discernment comes in and truly getting to know them.
Yeah, you don't need to serve every Sunday in your creative gifting. Because it's like, it's funny as well how it's like, especially you get someone who's like, oh, I film weddings. I've seen this happen so many times. Like, I film weddings. You're like, oh, it's like, it's a weird concept. Ready? Just follow me for a second. It's like when a creative comes to church and they say, this is my job, I do this as a creative thing, you try and then get them to serve for free in the role that they're paid to do. But when an accountant comes in, we're not like, oh, great, can you do our church accounting?
Wow.
Like, why are we boxing?
That was so
like,
good.
It's funny how
it's true. We don't do that.
It's a default posture of like, you're creative, you've got to join our creative team. But I'm like, sometimes a creative team in some churches is just a worship team. It's not a creative team. And it's like, we don't ask the fruit and veg guy to come farm our like church land.
You don't?
You don't do that, bro?
No.
No, that's like really good.
It's like, it's like baristas don't rock up and we're not like, you need to join the cafe team then. You're not allowed to do anything else. It's like, maybe they just want to greet. Like, I don't know. It's like, it's like sometimes I think there's so many lanes. It's like, do I think though that the church is a creative way to develop your gifts, and we're both here because of the church? Someone saw something in us and did that. They let us run around. They let us like build up and stuff. And it's like, that does work for some people, but you know what that has in common? It had a leader that was willing to do it. And I think when there's not a leader that's willing to sit with the creatives, help them through the process, you're a different creative, you're a different creative. Like, there's no model for them. If there's someone willing to give a space for that, and it's like, let me make my dumb youth videos every week that had terrible sound. You couldn't hear anything. And they go, all right, next week, let's do another one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just give you the space. It works. But I'm like, if there's no space for it, it's like sometimes just pretense. Like we're saying, all creatives come to the creative team. It's like, is it to come do something creative, or is it just because like we're getting like-minded creatives in a room to encounter God together? Because that's also a different thing. And that's awesome as well. So it's like, I think it like comes to how you want to model it. And it's so there's many different ways. But
I really like the word, Sam, that you used, discernment. So it really is discerning where that person's at. I would add a second word, and it's really discipleship.
It's good.
We should be discipling creatives as well, you know, so that they aren't rogue. They're not off on their own. We all need discipleship. We all need to be part of teams and communities and kind of connected. I'd love to ask some questions about the online space, because I feel like media is a really huge opportunity to reach people with the gospel. What do you guys think of, digital evangelism? What do you think of like Christian influencers or like media personalities?
If they keep their shirt on, it's all good.
What about singlets?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So they can just have their guns
What are they
out?
called?
Yeah.
Church thirst traps.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
my
Christian
God.
thirst traps.
Do we have Christian thirst
Yeah.
traps?
Yeah,
Is
they're
there
out there.
such
Yeah,
a
there's a
thing?
thing.
Get ready with me while I go to church.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
naked while I get
Oh my
ready.
gosh, who does that?
Not
Josh,
naked.
no
My
one
Instagram,
does
that's
that.
what I'm all,
what
my
is
whole
your
feed.
algorithm?
That's up to you.
Yeah,
What are
you need
you
to
searching?
fix that algorithm,
yeah,
brother.
we need to have
Somebody
a chat
please.
off camera.
Yeah.
Please fix my algorithm.
But what do you guys think about media, using media for God, and what do you think about this is like a different question, but people that have really big platforms, and they've almost become, to be honest, the pastors to generations, even more so than a local church pastor. Think there's any risks in that? Think there's any dangers in that?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, tell me about it, Sammy.
For sure. Like, I mean, where do I start? Do you have any quick thoughts? I'm gathering.
Quick thoughts while you gather.
Yeah.
I think I still can't believe how untapped churches don't use online media. Like it's quite funny that in this day and age you can still see churches that just are posting to like Instagram like it's a notice board, not an outreach thing.
Wow.
And then it also like the refusing to adapt to social media, how like, hey, you can post the same thing 50 times and it's going to go to different people every time. Like you don't need to recreate the wheel every time you need to outreach your thing. It's like, it's easy to clip a sermon and put it out there and someone might have it. But it's even like the adaptation, like I've said before, it's like maybe pastors need to do like a 2-minute version of their preach and post that online. And it might actually be way more helpful to so many people than clipping the platform down. But it's like, ultimately I think it's like YouTube, TikTok, they are the sites that everyone's on more than anything else by great numbers.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still find it funny that it's like the church just isn't there the same volume.
I find it funny that you're saying that, and I'm like, wow, TikTok. Like,
TikTok.
Okay.
Hours spent on platforms. YouTube's number one because it's long form. Number two.
What is it? Let's look it up,
can you
Shawnee. Look it up.
Hours spent.
YouTube, Instagram,
versus TikTok or YouTube.
TikTok. It's insane. It's like how many people are just doom scrolling the whole time.
Yeah, and it's like, give them something good to look at. Like give them something godly to look at.
Yeah, there we go.
But then another side of that we're talking about, I sometimes think Christians are the worst at sharing Christian media as well.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, tell
They
me
love
more.
sharing things that they disagree with and love engaging with things they disagree with. But like if someone posts something really nice and positive, I'm like, oh, that'll actually help people. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah,
I'm just going to go, that's nice. Keep scrolling.
Yeah, it's like I'm going to comment on things and I'm going to be like controversial or I'm going to be like aggravating. Yeah, I
like it doesn't cost you anything to share something.
yeah.
What it-
Or
Like,
to
but
be
people
like, hey,
hold
this
it
is a
like,
good
I'm not going to share
scripture.
that. Yeah.
So wait, how many? I can't really read that. So TikTok's got
1 billion.
what?
No.
So average time spent on social media per month by app, 34 hours and 15 minutes. Is that per year? Oh, per month. Per
Per
person.
person per month?
Yeah, per person per month. 34 hours for TikTok and 29 hours on YouTube per month.
Wow.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
It is a lot.
And then what's the second one after that? Facebook. Wow, so WhatsApp outdoes Instagram.
Yeah.
What
spend
year
a
was
lot
this
of
study
time.
done?
But what's interesting as well is that's just the free sites that anyone can post to.
Yeah.
Like anyone can put anything on those. It's not like Netflix, which people still go on. It's like every church, every Christian can be on these sites.
Okay, so Josh, I really like what you're saying in terms of we're in a way underutilizing the tool. What do you think a Christian, and then second to that, a leader or a pastor, how can they just on their own utilize media to reach people?
I think
less people.
A Christian, it's like the simplest thing you can do if you're not, like we're talking before, like about wanting to put yourself out there. You know what I mean? It's not easy to like share views and stuff and like that. It's very hard. So it's like, but if you agree with something that's nice, you can share.
Yeah.
If your church posts something, you can share it. Like, it's like you share whatever you want, like, to your profile. It's like I feel like gone are the days of like people caring about what their feeds look like and stuff. And like, so it's like, well, what does it matter? Like reposting, resharing something positive and good that you never know. It's like sometimes I've shared the randomest stuff and people have gone like, that's amazing. And like commented on it and stuff. And it's like, and also it's like the broader reach of it. It's like, you don't know who's going to see it in these days. And it's like, it's just the same as like, I've had people that have followed me since school. And then one time I'll post some like song or worship thing or something once, and they'll comment and go, I this really spoke to me. This like changed me. I needed this. And it's like, you can even see it. If you ever want to be encouraged, go to YouTube, click on a worship song, and then read the comments of people talking about testimonies, changing my life.
Felt the presence
like
of God.
It is insane what is there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
And it's like, that is just something that was posted once, left there. And it's like continually impacting things. And there's like more of a longevity there. It's like you can talk to someone, but it's like, I don't know, it's the best way to outreach to literally the world. Yeah. And it's just people just hold back. And it's like, it's like a normal person, if you don't want to create anything, it's like, just do it. But it's like, if you want, you can start filming things, sharing things. You never know.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think it's easy to get views. It's a lot harder to get souls. What do I mean by that? We have a great top funnel. Like we have a great, we saw the hours people spend on these social media apps. Like, and we do too. Like I'm so convicted, like being on my phone so much and being on these apps. So we actually have a great top funnel. So we're getting views, we're getting people, we have followers, That's actually the easy part. And that's why I agree with you. Churches could easily do this. The hard part is, how do we convert them from views to souls? Like, how do we convert them from views to discipleship, or views to in-person, or to views to that third space? Because you've got this weird ether of like, someone asked me, I did the anonymous questions last night. It was fun. And someone asked me, you guys are we don't post our kids online and stuff like that. And they asked us why. And I said, well, it's not really my responsibility to dictate if my kids have an online digital footprint. I think what I mean by that is, we grew up in a generation where we were experimenting with social media. So Facebook comes out and we post everything because it's like just with our friends. Yeah. Now the problem is,
a lot smaller back then.
Back. So our generation, like,
remember your top friends? That was
like MySpace top friends, like that stuff was very
people.
Yeah, totally. And it was totally like, nothing was really shared. No one really cared. But now everything is shared with every third party you can imagine. You've accepted terms and conditions on social media now where they can share your information with third parties. That's why when you search something on Google, you get a Facebook ad. That's why when you talk about something with Siri on, you're getting ads, because it's listening to what you're interested in and what you like, and you accept that. When you say yes to Siri and you say yes to terms and conditions on social media apps, you're saying yes to basically no privacy. That's a fact. So I'm very careful and hesitant. Look, with me, I've already put it out there. So my stuff's already there, whatever. I've already made that decision. My wife deleted social media 18 months ago. She hasn't been back on. She's off. She's done. And we made a decision not to post our kids for that reason. I think no one really talks about the dangers as well. And so we have like real life danger where, your garage door gets broken in and unfortunately my neighbor gets there's real dangers, right, in life. But there's real dangers online, real dangers that we don't talk about. And so I think, yes, post more, do more, top funnel stuff, get views. That's the easy stuff. But I think it's what's happening after that. If somebody engages with your post as a church or engages with your post as a pastor or an influencer, what's happening next? How are we following them? How are we bringing them to another space that's not this digital online world and it's real connection, human touch connection? Yeah. That's where AI comes into play. We're using it so much, which is great, but it's forcing us to be more online, where I think the church needs to be pushing to be more in person. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So great. Yeah. Look, use it, post it. Great. Post your preaching clips. We post our podcast clips. It's great. It's a great place to get views, but you're not making disciples. Yeah. And you're not saving souls online. You're just creating a top funnel that's giving people an opportunity to be in your space. Human touch, in-person hug. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're in a way, it's like a big front door, but like people have to walk through it.
Totally.
So
you need to be ready to greet them too.
Yeah. And it's preaching the gospel.
Just it though? Because
what do you mean?
Like you look at these, this is probably more personalities though, but it's like Speed is a streamer, if you know of him or not.
I show Speed.
And he would have disciples that follow him and he has like harnessed like creative and social media so well, and these like personalities and people create fans. The other day there was a charity soccer match happened. They announced the celebrities, a couple of people cheered and stuff, and then when the streamers and YouTube personalities got announced, the stadium erupted. And like I feel like
I saw that.
it's almost that almost I'm going to say it's like people don't commit enough. Like if you're going to want to try and use this medium of media,
Yeah,
it's like you're not going in enough. You know what I mean? So like you said you can't create save and
no,
stuff.
I
I'm like,
agree with you. I agree
yeah.
with you, but I will say there's something that you can't replicate outside of human touch and
Oh,
connection.
I'm still saying you got to get them in the room and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
but
So
I'm saying-
I agree with you. I
yeah.
think people are getting discipled online. I don't think it's a good thing. Though. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I think it's a bad thing.
I think people are getting discipled.
They are getting discipled online, but this is the problem with algorithm is that you're only getting fed what you agree with. Same thing with ChatGPT, right? People are using ChatGPT as a counselor, but all it is a validation loop. That's all ChatGPT is. Literally, it's like, hey, I feel sad, and it knows you now, so it's now going to just tell you to make you feel better, but it's not actually telling you the truth, and it's not decide. So what I mean by discipling is, sure, there's people out there who are finding people that they agree with, influencers that they align with, and that's helping validate and fuel a sense of like, oh yeah, like they said that, so I'm right. But it's not fueling truth in true discipleship and submission under people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yes, I agree, and I think the church needs to be in that space more because it's whether we like it or not, it's happening. And young people, Gen Z, and now definitely Gen Alpha coming through, are getting they are getting discipled, but they're not getting like truly sat under a rabbi. You know, like the difference.
Yeah.
They're not the dirt's not being kicked up on them. So like in Bible times, and fact check me please, but I'm pretty sure when a rabbi was walking, he would flick up dirt,
and his
disciples, and so that they
behind.
wouldn't actually dust it off because it was a sign that they were walking in submission with their rabbi.
Yeah.
And so I think that has to happen in person, right? And so we're having all these, digital disciples, which is great, and I think it's creating a great top funnel. But there's a massive gap between what we hear and see on a screen to like human touch getting dirt flicked up on us. Do you know what I mean? So I agree with you, bro. Like I think there is discipleship happening, and yes, it's very important that the church and leaders are in that space. But I will say I don't think it's effective for deep formation in young people.
Oh yeah,
and
it can't end there.
No.
It needs to be attacked.
No, and that I think is the point is it can start there, but it's not the end point. So it can be the starting point. So we should use it as a tool to kind of, again, spread open wide the gospel. So preach the gospel. There's millions of people that are sitting on these devices. That's a whole other conversation. There's
totally.
mental health conversation
totally.
there. But it's like we should use it as a tool to draw people unto Christ, but really the next steps need to be in-person relationships, and I think that's where the local church needs to come alive.
Totally.
So people...
That's the local church sweet spot right there. That's like exactly what it was created to do.
That's why we exist, to disciple, to
Totally.
preach the gospel. So using it as a tool, but then, even for people I find listening online, it's not necessarily a negative that they might look up to a Christian influencer, which I still really don't know what that is. But bless them because they're all out there. I think some of the risks are we look at people that might have a platform or a profile or lots of followers, and we immediately think that validates them to be a voice of truth and to be a voice of reason. And I'm like, you have no idea if that person even has any biblical literacy.
Yeah, that's right.
What their life is like, which is why, again, we have to exist in relationships. Accountability, responsibility, it needs to be reciprocal. I think that can be a great thing that people go online and they're encouraged or they listen to a podcast. But I know in America, like people will have massive podcasts and it's like, but who are they? Like what church are they a part of? How are they accountable?
Totally.
What kind of training do they have? And that is important because if somebody's going to teach the word of God, it cannot just be your own opinion.
Yeah.
Like you have to have good eschatology. You have to have like good liturgy in your life. And in a way, I would say a generation is almost being like discipled or pastored by online influencers rather than local church pastors. And I think there needs to be a flip there, that people can be encouraged and people can be inspired. I watch people online and I'm I know that person is just like an evangelist and they inspire me to reach people with my faith.
It's not a substitute though.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
love that you said that.
That's a good point.
It's an addition.
Totally.
It's an addition and it's an
encouragement.
extension.
Totally, it totally is.
Love that,
It
Sam.
can't be a substitute because you're screwed. Honestly, if you substitute real, authentic connection with others and submission to local church, like that is the way God set it up.
Yep.
Straight up. No one, you're not going to like it. I know you're not going to like it if you hear it. Like they're not. Because it hurts. It hurts the flesh. We're talking about this before. It hurts the flesh. But you need to be in true submission locally and to your network of elders and spiritual parents.
Yeah,
and you cannot get that.
Yeah.
You cannot get that online.
Yeah.
You know?
Who does actually the social media thing? Our friend Dakota.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's his thief
The
of
thief of boredom.
He
Okay.
got his life
Check him
radically
out.
saved, and his whole social media.
Yeah, bring him up.
He was already had a big following, and he goes, you know what? I'm Christian. I'm just going to start. And he also doesn't preach on it. He goes, I'm not going to preach, but I'm only going to share my personal revelation, personal testimony, and everything. Like the other day, he talked about the more I learnt about
There he
Jesus, it meant more
Is
of.
he an American guy? Or?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
So he just posts encouraging carousels. Ever since he started doing that, his engagement just went like 10x.
Yeah, and
love that.
like, this one's really good. Like he just talks about
So cool.
so many good things.
I was
And-
FaceTiming the other day and he said this one particularly
That one was really
took
good.
him all day to do. All day. Because he was just like, no, it's not right. That's not right. Oh, I've got to do this. Like he tweaks and changes things. So there's people that have gifts in this sense
Yeah.
that I don't have. And
Yeah.
I fully like value that. But it can't, as I said, like, it can't be a
he's
substitute.
local church guy talking to him. He goes, I got so many people messaging me about things, and he goes, I'm always pointing them back to a church.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
he
wow.
talked about his
What a
journey of
legend.
like when he got saved, he's like, no, I need to sit under someone. I need to do something.
Legend.
And then he's like, he goes, I don't feel, he's like, I'm not anyone's pastor, so I'm not going to be on this platform to preach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he goes-
or to like pastor people.
Yeah,
shepherd
And when he
people, right?
started, he like kind of did that. And he's like,
like,
this
that's
felt
not
weird
mine.
because then people would ask things and he goes, no, they need to be
Yeah.
with someone.
Yeah,
like you were
totally.
saying, like,
And I feel like this is why we don't do, like we have so many options to do some really cool podcasts with people in America, but I just don't want to do it on Zoom because it's not the same. You can't have the same,
so real.
you cannot have the same connection of what we're having right now
Yeah.
if you're not in the room with somebody. And so the lie is that we get that same connection online where we just don't. And we get that we emulate that connection. So if I FaceTime you, we're emulating being together, but we're actually
Yeah.
not together.
It all still sits in that like that entertainment mindset still a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, even though it's social media and stuff, it's still like, oh, it's a bit more entertaining. Even though you feel like you're learning about someone, it's still entertainment. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
actual
really
connection.
connection. It's
No.
not
No, it's not.
intimacy. You know,
No,
like
it's not.
no babies were ever made with two people not in the same room. Like,
Unless you did IVF.
hey, yeah, you caught me out there. Caught me out there, mate.
But there was some kind of intimacy
But
somewhere.
there has to be connection.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? And so the landing spot is really.
Sorry. I say that because we did IVF. So like that's
Okay.
why that was
Oh,
just
wow,
like,
I didn't know that, Sam.
and that wasn't like a call out. That was just like a,
that really flips the analogy.
this is why podcasts are so great. It's not scripted.
They are good. And it's like, you know, even getting in the room in terms of a church,
so much
local church. Yeah, it's the presence of God. So that,
Oh, totally.
that point of connection. You guys have any final thoughts, any words of encouragement, maybe for a creative that is feeling either discouraged, maybe they're even feeling like they don't want to continue to output things because they're disappointed. I know I've been there, you know. You've put something out and you're like, man, it's not getting,
Yeah,
you know,
flopped.
momentum.
Yeah.
Or even someone that's like maybe disenfranchised from church. So any of those.
What do you think, Josh?
I think something always good to do would be, if you're feeling lost or stuck, I would try and find someone that's ahead of you to like help mentor you a little bit, but then also find someone that's further like where you've been and try and mentor them, because then you get such a
Great.
better perspective of where you are. Because it's like, this person's where I want to be, and they can help mentor me through this. But then it's like, I'm also gonna start to outwork by mentoring someone like earlier on their journey. Well, that's probably if you're a bit more advanced in it. But otherwise, it's like, you just keep going, and like, yeah, I think just showing up is just such a valuable thing with creativity.
Great.
Because I'm like, people don't want to call it
Yeah.
work, but it's
You're
work.
a great picture of that, bro. You're
Yeah,
just, you're so
consistency.
faithful.
That's That's
Oh,
awesome.
sorry. So
Yeah,
do you want
sorry.
to keep
It
going?
was good.
I can't
It
keep
was
going.
good.
This whole thing's just been like,
No, you are though. There's so much truth in that. Like, just show up. Like, just keep doing it. You know, like, I mean, this podcast is. I mean, like our podcast that we do, and you're gonna find this the more you do
this
yours.
podcast,
Sorry,
it's
I'm
been
got
going
confused.
forever.
No, but you
Going
know,
for
like,
12 weeks.
but there's an element of like people do 10 and then go, oh, it's too hard because it
Yeah.
is really hard. Like it's
does.
hard
It takes
producing this.
work,
It takes so much
effort.
work. But if you want people to see it and you want to impact the world, you just got to keep doing it. You know. And I think
Right.
the other part, the answer to your question was like more spiritually. Like if you want to pour out and continue doing creative work, you got to be poured into. I'd say
Yes.
get with the Lord daily.
Yeah. Great.
Jesus said, you know, give us today our daily bread, sun up to sundown. We need to have daily bread. If we don't, we got nothing to give. And then we're relying on manna, but it's not always, manna's not God's plan. It's his it's his you know, for now plan. So I think like getting with the Lord daily is the first and most crucial thing we need to do as Christians and then especially as creatives,
Absolutely.
because how can we pour out if we got nothing to, you know, nothing
good.
left. So yeah, I think every day being with the Lord in some way that you can, and find the best way you connect with God. Like we were saying this before, like mine's outside, you know, you got a nook in your house, in the mountains, find that place and then run to that place, run to it.
That's good.
Turn your phone off, chuck it in the car and just literally run to that place.
So good.
You have to run to it. Otherwise you're going to
So
walk
good.
there and get distracted. You know, like someone's going to call you and then
Yeah.
you're scrolling and then, you know, you start having kids and then your kids are screaming, like just run to that place
Yeah,
because
I
it's
love
so
that.
sacred. You got to get there.
That's
Anyway.
good. It's
good.
something I just reminded just then. It's like I feel like we don't glorify like as much. It's not like a sexy word, like being a follower. And it's like so many people just want to be the guy or be that thing, and like maybe you're never meant to be. You know what I mean? It's like we are all called just to be followers of Jesus, and it's like that is the best position to always be. And that's kind of why I went to that. Like get someone above you, like. Being a follower, there is nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
many people
it's
are
good,
just trying
Josh.
to be like, I want to be there. And it's like, I get it sometimes, but it's like, there's nothing wrong with being a follower no matter where you are in your stage of life.
I love that. I really like that you said that, Josh. Our pastor preached a sermon once called The Other Disciples. And everyone tends to focus on Peter, James, and John, right? The three.
Yeah.
And everyone innately kind of wants to have that sense of significance and importance. But like Jesus and the gospel never would have reached the ends of the earth if it had not been for the other disciples.
Yeah, fully.
That's the reality.
So true.
And I like that you say, you know, sometimes we kind of like are trying to shuffle our way and find our space, but the kingdom of God is vast and it's broad, and we all have a place and we're all important and we're all valuable. And I think even creatives are very much like, I want my gifts and I want my things to be seen, and that's not bad, but that's not our ambition. That's
Yes.
not our motive to be seen. Our motive is to be followers of Christ. Our motive is to be obedient and surrendered and to give God glory. Like
Totally.
our lives are designed, whatever way, shape, or form, ultimately to walk with God intimately, like you said, Sam, but we're created to give God glory.
Totally.
Ultimately. And so
good.
sometimes we do that in the mundane. Sometimes we do that in the day-to-day, the work, the effort, the unseen
Totally.
as well.
Can I say too, Sabrina, like the other disciples, we look at them and I just had this thought, like we often glorify the disciples. You know, they were brave, but they didn't really have like a grand retirement plan. They kind of all got martyred and killed.
Yeah.
Did.
And so,
Except for John, yeah.
yeah, except for John, correct.
Yeah,
and
they did. They laid down their life.
They laid down their
Yeah.
lives. And you know what? When we say yes to this thing, it's not really that pretty most of the time. And that's okay. We actually are living in submission and sacrifice and obedience to Christ. That is hard. Like to actually do that is really hard.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah.
in that sense, just get over yourself.
Love that.
No, I'm serious. And
Yeah.
I have
It's
to,
a
I
tagline.
have to get over myself every day. I have to, because it's not about me.
Yeah.
None
Wow.
of this is about me. It's
Yeah.
actually all about him, and I'm stumbling and doing my best to do what he wants.
Yeah.
And that's painful. That's hard.
It is.
So the encouragement is we all have to get over it. like
Yeah.
there's no pretty nice line for this that like, oh, it'll get better. You'll have moments, but most of those moments will be in the presence of God, figuring out what you're doing.
Yeah. So
real.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
Love it.
we glorify it a lot. And like a lot of people ask me all the time, how'd you build this thing? How'd you do all this thing? It's honestly all in submission to Christ. We talk about this all the time. It's all in submission, and he's the one who opens the doors, and we just got to steward our way through.
Yeah, and you know what I think it's like almost the beautiful part is like you would give all that up for Christ. Like you would surrender all of that. So he does produce fruit in our lives.
Totally, yeah.
But it's like he is the ultimate reward. And we have him if we're believers and as Christians. Guys, thank you so much for a great conversation. Hopefully you don't need to clip too many things out, about everyone being on the spectrum.
I just need to say one last thing to the camera.
Yes.
Where are my young adults?
There you are. Look, there.
My young adult creators.
Apathy. I can't remember what he said.
We love you, Freddie. We love you,
We
mate.
love Fred Porter.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. You're the
Awesome.
best.
Thank you.
Hey friend, if you've been enjoying the Healthy Christian podcast, you can now show your support through Buy Me a Coffee. There is no pressure, but your support really helps us keep spreading and creating this content. Link in description, check it out. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the episode, please comment below. Don't forget, like, share and subscribe, and let's get healthy together.